Good morning. Time is 10:45 and I'm here a little bit worse for the wear because I sprained my ankle, but I thought I could come up here and have a coffee and then I could do a little bit of weeding as long as I'm sitting down. So that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to have time in the garden doing some gentle work as well as having some quality time by doing a bit of weeding. As you can see, most things are doing pretty decent. My ballotic climbing beans have finally gone up and they are just, once they got going, they went up and are growing really well. Fantastic. So I think I might do a little bit of weeding around here, because what I want to do is I want to make sure that I try and keep this weed clear. The easier it is it gets easy to do when I maintain it. Interestingly enough, the straw I put here seems to have helped to maintain a weed free. Oh no, so it was no dig. I might do a little bit of the path. The ants are swarming at the moment. I think this might be an uchikuri. I thought I didn't have any, but it looks like I have one, so I'm happy about that. And then I've got another pumpkin. I wonder what type of pumpkin that is, but I have no clue. Courgettes are finally taken off and are doing absolutely fantastic. Here, one of my patty pans is doing lovely, so I'm pleased with that. The beans are starting to flower. The sugar beans are starting to flower, so that is a good thing. Look at this. These carrots are just going to be, I'm sure, very massive because they are just huge. So they got huge leaves. Everything is just, it's like a bush. The Swiss chard is the gift that keeps on giving. These beans look like they want to climb, although my mum-in-law told me that they don't climb, they'll just start to fruit. So we shall see. This is a patty pan which I actually put into my corn garden and it's taken over. And there's another, oh god, there's another patty pan in there. And unfortunately I'm not at work, so I can't even, what's the word? Let me try and open this. I cannot give it away until I'm back at work. So that's something else that being unable to get to work is affecting. My celtus are doing really well, so hopefully we will have a good crop from it. And I'm watching one of the broccolis in here because it's still getting bigger, but I'm just keeping an eye on it to make sure that it doesn't blow. So I don't know whether you can actually see it. There it is. So that one will be ready soon, but it's still just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, so I'm not going to worry about it yet. I'll keep checking it daily, and I can see that the others are starting to get something in the middle as well. As you can see, we definitely are going to be having broccoli harvest because there are quite a few in there. Oh, how fantastic. That's brilliant. And the cabbages are starting to try hearting up. There we go. And they're looking good. I am pleased. I think this is the most successful brassica growing I've done, so I'm quite happy with that. Check out the size of onions that these allotment plots can grow. Next year I'm going to try and grow something like this because everyone's got massive big onions and it's just ridiculous. They've grown beyond what is acceptable, so I'll put my onions in later next year. So instead of doing them in the winter, I may do some in the winter, but then do more in spring as well, to see whether or not I'll get as good a crop as everyone else is getting. I'm loving this little bit of color from my marigolds, which were initially mullered, but seem to be doing well. Even the cauliflower, I got interrupted by the child and a phone call, so I've been sat down having my coffee. This kettle is absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to be weeding, and I've decided that I will be weeding the areas that bug me, such as this area where I'm sat, which is just basically filled with bindweed. So I'll clear this area first, because I can do it even as I'm sat here once I finish my coffee, and then I'll work my way down the middle path. So we'll work all the way down there to clear all the weeds there, and then when that section is done, I need to probably choose one of the beds and get it weeded as well. So I brought my gloves, I got everything. I've got a tap where I can get water so I can keep myself hydrated, and we're going to do as much as I can without hurting myself any further. And once it's done, I'll go home, have a shower and eat something. But it is fantastic being able to have a cup of coffee at the allotment. I realize I haven't actually even shown you my face, have I? Yeah, so it looks so nice out there. It looks really, really nice. It looks like a jungle, a pretty green jungle, and it's so quiet, which also makes it really nice. Everything is doing so fantastic. I mean, considering how the season started, I think we're doing really well. And one of the things that I feel this has allowed us to do is it's allowed us to think a lot about the choices we've made, what we've grown, whether it's been the best options. And I've thought a lot about the tomatoes I've grown. And even though I haven't harvested every single type yet, I'm already making decisions on what will never be coming back into my garden. My corn garden is fantastic. It's fantastic, but a little bit overplanted. I mean, it's just too much. Let me show you. Over there is my corn garden, just beyond the tomatoes, and as you can see, it just looks like a big bush of stuff. Next year I might try and do it better, but I don't know what I will grow in it. The patty pan is growing absolutely fantastic in it, but it's managed to split into two, which means there's two branches, both of which are producing patty pans. I'm liking the bed where I've got that patty pan and cosmos and a bit of sweet potato and a bit of Swiss chard, because it's more spaced out and therefore it looks better. I'm a bit worried about the maize, and I'm wondering whether or not I'll actually get produce from it, because I don't know whether the season here is long enough, considering how short a time it's been since we started getting the proper hot weather we would need for it to grow as it should. But we shall wait and see. I'm hoping that we will get something. The leaves are so huge. I don't remember leaves of maize back home being this huge, but they seem to be. I'm wondering how tall it's going to grow, but we will wait and see. So yeah, so let me finish my coffee and then we will get on, and I'll keep you updated with my weeding and how I'm getting on. All right, you take care for now. Be careful, there's ants. Right, let's just show you walk through of where I'm going to work today, which is just down this center path, taking it all the way up. Obviously I'll leave the Swiss chard even if it's decided to plant itself somewhere it shouldn't, and we'll just work our way up to there. As usual, Stella is getting sidetracked, so I'm actually doing a pull and drop of weeds on the bed. I just did that bed there where the pumpkins are, and then I've just done this, which is my favorite bed at the moment because it's got space and beauty at the same time. I don't think the sweet potato will amount to much, but I'm hoping that it'll be okay. So I'm just going to continue weeding here, pulling up all these tiny little friends of ours who try and hide underneath the real plants, and see how we go. I use this to water. It's got tiny little holes, so I fill it and then I just set it here. I need to get all the others out because it makes watering easy. And I love this cosmos. I don't even know what it's called. I got it from Lidl, but it's got such beautiful flowers. I mean, look at that. Can you beat that for prettiness? I just love how, just like the dahlias, they seem to have a mix of colors on the same plant. As they mature, they change what they become. So I'm going to do this one as well because I like it when the beds look nice and tidy. And I'll just throw the weeds on top and let them dry out and become part of the beds, especially here where in the middle row I've actually got wood chip, so they're not going to root, and even if they root they won't be strong enough to cause me any worries. The bigger lot of weeds, such as the ones, I need to get these sorted out, but I really wanted to do the central path I should say, even as I call it, the center path. And I have started, but the ants chased me away because they're swarming. But as you can see, this area is already done. I just need to continue working my way up without getting sidetracked by things such as this. Just try and kill it off from the bottom end. I'm not even bothering to lift them up once I know that they're disconnected. I'm just leaving them to lie there and form part of, they'll dry out and they'll be fine. That's the thing. I still remember Steve from Green Side Up. He used to say, never let weeds see 2 Sundays. And in my head, when I see weeds, they bug me because of that. Because I'm always thinking, these weeds have seen more than 1 Sunday and we need to get rid of them. Okay, let's carry on. We're doing well. We are nearly halfway up the allotment. And I've done a little bit of this bed as well as I've gone up. I'm going to put some of the grass down because in here there's nothing that will be bugged by the snails much, so I'll put some of the grass cuttings down that I have in a bag because the mulching really does help. Even the straw at home, which I was thinking was a waste of time because I was just trying to use it to stop the slugs, is actually a good mulch. I like it and it's breaking down very beautifully and will help to loosen my soil, so I'll bring some more. So now I'm here. Top half still not done. Bottom half is done, as you can see, all nice and clear. So, sorry, I'm tilting you badly. I'm just going to work here, along here, sitting on my stool, and we'll see how I do. Because even if I was to get it to just halfway, it would be fantastic. things look more daunting than they are. And once you pull, you suddenly realize that it's just the one plant. So that's extremely helpful. And these are all going to go into my compost tea bin, where they'll rot down and be used for watering to feed the plants. This is another honeycomb, and it looks like I've got a little bit of blight on that stem there, possibly. And since I don't need any more branches of this plant, I'm going to take that one off and get rid of it before it spreads, if it is blight, although it is right in the middle of a stem, which suggests it might not be. I know that when I was watering it yesterday, I wasn't so careful, but I'll clear that bit and leave it. Get rid of it is the best route and always the best way. I'm experimenting with using those to cover the bed to see whether or not they'll cause any problems. They might do with slugs coming there, so I might chop them down and then put them back down again. But then there's nothing in there that slugs can eat, so let's see what happens to them. Bindweed everywhere. Oh. It's making me pull out my own strawberries. These strawberries are not doing well. Well, some of them are not. Others are. Maybe they'll do better next year. I think I need to go home soon. I've done half the allotment weeding. I'll come again and do tomorrow as well, I think, if the weather is good. I've done well. I've got a lot of piles of weeds that I need to clear. This is about my third that I'm getting. And they're very, very sweet. Can't stop staring at the garden. I mean, look at that. It looks so nice. So nice. Every so often I'm stopping the actual weeding, which is what I'm here to do, just to stare. And I can see the cabbage white. They have no way into my space, I think. I need to check one of my roof bits, but I think they're all covered quite well. But it's just so nice and so peaceful. I'm just enjoying it all. It looks really, really lush and gorgeous. It is quite much later than I thought, and I'm thinking whether I should stop here and do the rest another day. But all I've got left is this section here. Let me just show you. Okay, this section has been done, and I've also pulled a lot of onions, which I'll be taking home with me. I'm going to be putting in some shallot potatoes in that section there, so that hopefully I'll have a harvest for Christmas. As you can see, this was the area that was very, very weedy. Well, not overly, but it's managed to be cleared. I've cleared this little path in between here, and that's doing fine. I've come up here. I did the courgette and maize bed. I've cleared this section here, and then I ended up by the strawberries because they had a lot of weeds and bindweed, which is all piled up over there. I did in between because my mum-in-law did the other end the other day. And so now I'm here. This is the next step. So I suppose if I can actually finish this section up to where that bed is, the sweet potato bed is, I'll have done well. And then I need to go home because it's past 12 o'clock and I've been here quite a while. So I need to go home. They say Rome wasn't built in a day. And so I think it is time for me to stop. I've done a lot. I'm pleased with the progress. I've got very little to go, and it's the more challenging little that I have to go. But let me show you what I have achieved. When I came, I had one intention, well, two. One was to sit and take some time to relax with my allotment. So I had a coffee before I then started weeding, and as you can see, sometimes even when the garden is lush, when you have a lot of weeds as a garden, I'm sure most of you understand that it will bug you and make you feel rather irritated to see it. So now, as you can see, my goal was to clear this central bit, and I've done pretty well because not only have I cleared the central bit and around these tomatoes, I've also managed to clear some of the beds. Oh, everything looks so gorgeous. That cosmos is lovely. And I've continued and stopped at this point. It's not perfect. Oh Lord, excuse me, sorry. There. But it will do for now. I've got a few bits to do from here upwards, but I pulled a lot of the bad ones out. I'm going to leave them where they sit to dry off, and I'll be back tomorrow. It will be another excuse to come and have another coffee and clear up. So this is my allotment, and it's looking fantastic everywhere I look. I am pleased. I'm winning some battles, losing some battles, but ultimately it's all looking good. All looking very good. Have a good one.